Hello and welcome to 360 Sports on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. We've got a whole lot to look at on the show this morning, and we'll also be looking at some interesting sporting story. Yes, when it comes to talent, like we know, Nigeria is a country that is full of talent. We have them everywhere. It's just for us to identify them, discover this talent, harness them, and then take them to the next level when it comes to sports. So we'll be looking at a very special sport this morning. I know a lot of persons might, in a way, might not have heard about this sport, but it's a sport that Nigerians are doing well, and the sport has been on for quite some time, and now it has gotten world recognition already, and Nigeria is going to be there for the world event. We'll be talking about that, and then we'll also look at Super Falcons, where in their double-header friendly game against Algeria, they won the two-leg, 6 goals they scored in both games, considering just one against the Algerian women. We'll be looking at that and a couple of other stories on the show this morning. So like I said, let's start from this particular sport, Sambo. The sport is Sambo. It's the sport Sambo. You might not understand what it is. Sambo is a mix of judo and wrestling. Some characteristics of wrestling and judo are embedded in the sport, and Nigeria will be debuting for the first time in the world championship, and now for Nigeria, they will be going with a lot of athletes. The likes of Jatu will be representing Nigeria in the women's category. So it's it's a mixed martial arts sport, a combination of wrestling and judo. But definitely, you have to use your hands, your fist for this particular, just the way they fight wrestling, but a little bit different from wrestling. So Nigeria will be debuting in the World Championship for the first time after they qualified from the African Sambo Championship. They qualified, and now we will see Nigeria in this particular competition. And for Sambo, I know a lot of persons, like I said, you'll be asking, what is Sambo? Sambo is a sport, as you can see on the screen. That is Jatu in there, as you can see on the screen. The hands are locked together. So if you really want to participate in this sport, go look for the Nigerian Sambo Federation and show what you can do, and definitely you might get to be picked. So you can see they are also dressed the same way judokas are dressing. The same kits of judo is what they actually use, but different rules, different regulation guiding the sport. I don't know if Dan, I'm asking her, is ready to join up on the show. Okay, when he's ready, we'll be coming up on the show. All right, let's leave that story. When Dan joins, we'll also go back to that story and look at it. Okay, let's go straight to the second story this morning. For the Super Falcons of Nigeria, it was an emphatic win against their Algerian counterpart at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena in Lagos. It was a 4-1 whitewash of the ladies from Algeria in that particular game. And the story this morning is that Madugu, that is Justin Madugu, the interim coach of Super Falcons, lauds NWFA, that is Nigerian Women's Football League players' performance in this particular game. Yes, they did so well. It's Jamilusi of Edo Queens getting a hat-trick in that particular game. Just 6 foreign-based players were invited for this particular friendly game. And for the local-based player, they gave a very good account of themselves, showcasing what they can do. And it is what it is. It is the way forward. Over the years, we used to have local players in our various national teams, mostly the senior national team. But for the Super Falcons, a couple of the players are from the Nigerian Women's Football League. That is the clubs playing here in Nigeria. They make the bulk of the team. Rashidat Ajibade was the hero, the heroine of the first leg. She got 2 goals for us in the first game, played at the Remo Star Stadium in Ikenne, Ogun State. She got a brace in that game. And then the second leg, it was much an improved side, Algerian side, who confronted the Super Falcons yesterday afternoon at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, and it was 4-1 thrashing of Algeria in that particular game. The game is just a preparatory measure. They are using it for the preparatory measure for the African Women's Nations Cup that would be coming up in Morocco. So it's part of knowing the team, as in gelling together, understanding their chemistry, and also looking at how we can have a home-based player, playing for Super Falcons, how they can mix up with the foreign-based player. Chiamaka Nadozie was also a part of the 6 foreign-based players that was invited for the friendly game against Algeria. So I think it's a good one. At least the coach have seen the very best of the local players playing their trade with the NWFL, and it's now left for the coach to actually pick out some of the best legs, those who he thinks might be good enough for the Super Falcons to represent the country in subsequent competition. For the Super Falcons, like I said, they are preparing for the African Women's Nations Cup. We want to win again and win very well, win emphatically. Good. Okay, we'll have Dan Amasinga joining us on the show this morning. Welcome to 360 Sports on Trust TV. Okay. Okay, we can hear you. We can hardly hear you. Please work on your audio if you can hear us, so that we can have you back. But for the Super Falcons, congratulations to them, and kudos to the interim coach, Justin Madugu, who has actually shown that, yes, where is left for the technical committee of the NFF, because they are saddled with the responsibility of hiring coaches for the various national teams of Nigeria. So I don't have a say. I can't give the go-ahead that he should be hired. After all, the technical committee will have to look at his CV, look at what he can do, and probably if they deem it fit that he is the right man for the job, then he can be saddled with the responsibility of leading the Super Falcons. But in the two games, the two outing, I think we've seen some good home-based players who can also join the crop of foreign players that we have in the Super Falcons right now. But the technical committee will have to do that, look at the videos, assess the quality of play, look at the quality of players, what can they bring to the team, how can we get it right, and probably we can move up from there. So it's, like I said, it is the responsibility of the NFF technical committee, not just the fans or whoever have that responsibility of hiring a coach for the various national team. But they did well. They did well against Algeria. We might say Algeria is not a strong side, but at least it's just to look at what these girls can do, what these women can do if we meet tougher oppositions. All right, let's leave that story while we still expect Dan to join us on the show. We go straight to Togo Lomé. Yes, the big one will be happening today, the finals of the WAFU B under 20 between the Black Starlets of Ghana and then the Flying Eagles of Nigeria. They say Ghana Jollof and Nigerian Jollof. It's going to be a battle after the team started, the Flying Eagles started slowly in the competition, where they actually lost to Burkina Faso in their first game, but they were able to pick up the pieces, correct their lapses, and then bounce back against Cote d'Ivoire. And their last game, the semi-final game against the Niger Republic, they came back strong, winning. They started slowly, but now they are into the final. Not just the final. The first target when they left the shores of the country was to pick the ticket for the under-20 AFCON. And that was done immediately. They crossed to the semi-final. They got 1 foot into the 2025 under-20 AFCON to be staged in South Africa, and then immediately they picked the final ticket they got that ticket to go to the under 20 AFCON. Two of them, Ghana and Nigeria, will be representing the region at the under 20 Africa Cup of Nations in South Africa next year. But the final today is going to be between Nigeria and Ghana, and Nigeria is looking forward to this to win. They won the last time out 2 years ago in Niger Republic, so they will be hoping to defend the title they won 2 years ago and probably come back with that trophy. The first time we will have Coach Aliu Zubairu of Academy Warriors leading a national side, and he's showing what he can do. But I believe it's work in progress. We can still do better. And like he said, they started slowly. They had to look at their lapses. Just some weeks to this tournament, Coach Aliu Zubairu was appointed for the under 20. But now he has proven that, yes, he has that capacity to lead the young guys to glory. So we'll be looking forward to that final. Okay, Dan, I don't know. Dan, are you there? Okay. Please, Dan, you can just work on your audio. Let's have you back on the show. So we'll be hoping that Nigeria beat Ghana today to lift the trophy, and probably we might just be seeing, we might just be having our own Flying Eagles crown the zonal champions once more. All right, before we go further, let's quickly look at just take a highlight of that game, the Super Falcons against Algeria, and we'll be right back.
Our player restarted and wanting to ask questions straight away. Algeria, a little miscommunication.
It's goal number 1 for Nigeria.
Algeria in possession. Abadu. Abadulia just takes a little too long and loses sight of the ball. Is brought forward now by Osigwe Blessing. Oh, she's appended by two Algerian jerseys, and a free kick to Nigeria. Yes, Rashidat Ajibade standing over the ball, and Esther Yenezide. Rashidat strikes straight into the wall. Now a second bite at the cherry.
Yes, welcome back. That was a beautiful goal from Ijami Lucy. She got a hat-trick in that game with Monday Gift, who plays a trade in Spain, getting one of those goals in that 4-1 thrashing of Algeria in that friendly game played at the Onikon Stadium in Lagos. So for Coach Justin Madugo, like I said, he has seen these guys and he knows what to do. He's going to pick the best legs for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Just 6 foreign base players were invited for the friendly games, and not all of them actually played a part in this. We know that Chiamaka Nadozie was in goal in the first game before we had the Nasarawa Amazons goalkeeper in between the stick. All right, Dan, can you hear us now?
Now?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, Dan, we can hear you.
You can hear me now?
Yeah. Okay, let's start with the first story. Let's start with the first story quickly. Where Nigeria will be debuting in Sambo sport in the World Championship for the very first time in the history of the sport for Nigeria.
I can barely hear your last. I can barely hear your last question. Anyway, I don't know if you can come all over again, please.
I said Nigeria will be debuting in their first ever outing in Sambo sport. Okay, we can barely hear you, Dan, from your end. Let's move from that particular story, the friendly game, and let's look at this other one. We looked at the Nigerian under-20 boys playing against Ghana at the WAFU B Under-20 Tournament finals later on today in Togo, Lomé. Precisely, that's the venue of the competition. But we're still looking at CAF organized competition this time around, but for the young ones, age grade competition. Let's go straight to CAF, where the African Schools Championship for boys and girls is part of CAF's football development on the continent. The draws were conducted yesterday or so, and Nigeria is in a very tough position in Group B. Both the boys and girls will play the same countries in that group. We have the group. Let's quickly look at the group. We have the likes of Ghana in the other group, but this time around we have tough opposition. We have, if we can have the group on the screen quickly and see where Nigeria is. Like I said, it's part of CAF's development, football development on the continent of Africa. You know, FIFA also have this kind of program. It's a way of developing the young ones from the secondary school, primary school level. So it's for the boys and girls at the schools level. We have Niger Republic in Group A, Burkina Faso in Group A, and Ghana in Group A. Then in Group B we have Benin Republic, we have Cote d'Ivoire, we have Nigeria. So also the girls will be playing the same team. You are seeing Benin Republic, Cote d'Ivoire in Group B. So it's for boys and girls. This is the parents for both boys and girls. Dan, I don't know if you can hear us now. Hello, Dan. Okay. For the African Schools Championship is going to kick off next month. So almost about 28,000 schools from the continent will be involved in this particular competition. So it's just a way, like I said, it's part of CAF's football development on the continent of Africa, trying to groom the young ones and prepare them for bigger stage. We also know that FIFA has developmental programs that is cut across all of their continental federations in the world. Also, CAF is doing their own bit on the continent of Africa. I believe this will also have same developmental program in Europe, in CONCACAF, in America and other Asian, the Pacific, the Asian continent, Australia, and all of the other continents of the world, where we have these developmental programs in football for young ones. So I think it's a welcome development. It's a good idea coming in from the CAF president, Patrice Motsepe, putting together this particular tournament. It's a way forward. It's a way of getting young ones to actually do what they know, as in follow their dream and prepare them for a bigger stage. So we wish Nigeria well in this particular competition, both boys and girls, and let's see how they will go far in the competition. So the draws, though, it's a very tough group, but I believe they have been prepared. They have prepared where it is for the under 15 competition. If you are above 15, you cannot actually play in this particular competition. Is for the likes of those who are in SS2, SS1, GS3, GS2, GS1. These are who are within the ages of this particular age 15. They are the ones who are to take part in this competition. So good one coming in from Patrice Motsepe, the CAF president. Still looking at the stories on the continent. This time around we switch over to the CAF Women's Champions League. Yes, we know that the CAF Women's Champions League also will be coming up next month, and for Edo Queens, they will be representing the region, and then also they will be representing Nigeria at the CAF Women's Champions League to be staged in Morocco. The striker, Edo Queens strikers, Edo Queens striker is saying they need to work harder in order to give a very good account of themselves at the CAF Women's Champions League bid for Morocco come next month. Just some days away from now, that competition will be up and running in Morocco. And for Edo Queens, they were the champions of the WAFU B Tournament. Here, the last time out, they won in Cote d'Ivoire, and they picked the ticket to represent the region also, and then represent Nigeria. So it's going to be a big outing for Edo Queens, who won without losing a game at the CAF at the WAFU B Tournament before they qualify for the CAF Women's Champions League. The first Nigerian women's team to appear at the CAF Women's Champions League was Rivers Angels, where they lost about 3 of group games before they won their last group game, but that wasn't enough for them to progress. And then the last edition, we have Bayelsa Queens representing the region and Nigeria, but they came back with bronze medal. They came back, they picked the bronze medal at the end of the competition. So let's see if Edo Queens can go further, probably come back with gold or a silver this time around, because they are in the same group with the defending champions, Mamelodi Sundowns Ladies of South Africa. So Edo Queens have a very big task ahead of them, and we are looking forward to them giving a very good representation, a very good outing at the CAF Women's Champions League. Definitely for Edo Queens, they are going to give a very good account of themselves, having been motivated. Though the governor who motivated them is no longer there, that is Governor Godwin Obaseki. He actually splashed the sum of 50 million naira on the team for doing exploit at the WAFU B Tournament before they qualified for the CAF Women's Champions League. Let's see if the new governor who is in charge right now will follow suit, will do same by motivating these girls. Motivation is the key, because welfare is what makes an athlete to perform very well. When the welfare is not there, definitely, you know, it's bound to be there are bound to be a lot of issues. So for the welfare, definitely we are going to be seeing, probably, maybe, just maybe, they will get the support from the state government, and also not just the state government alone. I think the NFF will also have to do their own part. The Nigeria Women's Football League also need to give Edo Queens that support, that moral support and what have you that they needed. They need to propel and do well at the CAF Women's Champions League. All right, we will be right back. Let's take the video we saw at the beginning of the show. That's the Nigerian Rugby League, and we'll be right back to go straight to Europe and look at some games. Cup games were played last night in Europe, and definitely we'll be looking at those cup games and other stories on the show. But okay, let's have that video, Nigerian Rugby League, and we'll be right back.
The Warriors World Championship. The Warriors Abuja, Nigeria Abuja World Championship. Rabo tachi rabo yachi. Ana makima dai. Kadara wallahi ya gaji. Wallahi kadara ya gaji. Da Allah buga mu tafi. Wallahi ya gaji. Buga mu tafi. Yanzu zai fadi. Buga mu je. Yanzu zai fadi. La ilaha illallah. Madolaci baya suna. Wallahi ya saki ya gaji. Wallahi ya saki. Buga mu tafi. Kashe ka saka gallu. Sai fa an daure. Yaki sai an daure. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Yaki daure. Alhamdulillah. Wallahi sai mai rabo. Rabo ta ci rabo ya ci. Rabo ya ta same shi. The Warriors. Welcome to Mustafa. Girma Aminu Goji gashi na zaune. Taka tsakani Bahagon Alikawaji da Shagoya Biyat. La ilaha illallah. Abotati aboyati. Aboyara kasamashi. Gada banna takani. Subhanallah. Saya tumarani. La ilaha illallah. Bahabu ani kaul sabayabiyat. Bahabu ani kaul sabayabiyat. Ala tumarani. Law banna kai. Ala tumarani. Law banna kai. La ilaha illallah. Subhanallah. Allah. Bahabu ani kaul sabayabiyat. Bahabu ani kaul sabayabiyat. Bahabu ani kaul sabayabiyat. Gada banna takani bahabu ani kaul sabayabiyat. Allah. The Warrior, World Championship, World Championship, World Championship, the Warrior, 2014. Subhanallah. Why the Kenya? Ana Bakibanani. Mahabu Ali Kawaj, and Kawaj, and the Takalahia. Let's get some Master Chin. Kadapana ala Bakibanani. Labota Tira Bayati. Laboya Sebashi. Nala Kabir Dagala Tamazone. Kapma Ala Zim Tazone. Ala Bakibanani. Why the China? Ana Bakibanani Zakani. Bahago. Ali Kawaj. Isabayabiyat. Takalahia. Takalahia. That's
Yes, that was the Dambe Warriors fight here at the Velodrome in Abuja some weeks ago, and also we saw that Abuja Rugby League, where rugby is another sport that we are trying to do well in Nigeria. Like I said, we will be moving over to Europe because there were cup games played last night in Europe, in Spain, in Germany, but in Italy it was the Serie A. It was league games in Italy. We'll be looking at those results. We'll start from the English League Cup, that is Carabao Cup, the Carling Cup, as it's called. We had games played yesterday night, last night in the Carabao Cup. Southampton against Stoke City, it was a 5-goal thriller in that particular game. Joe Aribo's team plays for Southampton. And then Brentford and Sheffield Wednesday, it was 1-1 at the end of extra time, and then it went straight to penalties. Brentford winning 5-4 on penalties against the championship side Sheffield Wednesday. So Brentford and Southampton goes through to the next round. After that game, we'll have other games that will be coming up, but those games we'll be looking at the fixtures of the other games on the evening show. Also in Spain, we had cup games in Spain. This time around, the Spanish Copa del Rey. The first round of those games started last night in Spain. We have Compostela lost to Deportivo Alaves 1-0, and then Villarreal lost at home to Rayo Vallecano. We have Guglielmo lost also to Curense CF. We have Astor lost to Real Valladolid 4-1, and then for Hospitalet 1, Real Zaragoza 5, Lazorenti and Racing Santander ended in a 7-goal thriller. It was 4-3 against Lazorenti. Then we have Poblense against Villarreal, 6-1 hammering of Poblense, and Real Jaén against Cadiz. It was 3-0 against Real Jaén in the Spanish Copa del Rey first round fixture. So these are the results for those cup games played in Spain. Like I said, other games will be coming up tonight. Also in the first round of Copa del Rey, we'll be looking at those fixtures on the sports update later on this evening. But for the result of last night, this was what it looks like. The likes of the big boys, let me say the ones playing in La Liga, that is the top league in Spain, actually got the likes of Deportivo Alaves, Rayo Vallecano, Villarreal, all of them, Real Valladolid, all of them getting a win away to remain in the competition. So it's also a way of giving the smaller teams, those in Liga B, the opportunity to face the big boys. Probably maybe one of the teams might just get qualified to play in the top league proper, and it's not going to be a new team entirely to them. So let's leave Spain and go straight to Germany. Also in Germany, there were cup games in Germany, the DFB Poker, that is German DFB Poker, where we have Bayer Leverkusen also doing well. They started on a very good note. The game, as in the second round, they are through to after the second round. They won this title last season with Victor Boniface and Xabi Alonso. Augsburg, where we now have our own Frank Onyeka playing on loan, trashed Schalke 04 3-0. Bayer Leverkusen also beat Elfsberg 3-0 for kickers of Mbak, lost to Kalarussia 2-0. And RB Leipzig against St. Pauli, the two German Bundesliga team, in a 6-goal thriller. It was 4-2 against St. Pauli. And then Jan Regensburg beat Grutterfurt 1-0. Cologne 3 against Holstein Kiel, who is playing in the top league. We have Stuttgart beat Kaiserslautern 2-1, and Wolfsburg surprisingly beat Borussia Dortmund 1-0 to go through to the next round of the German DFB Poker. So good games for Bayer Leverkusen, the defending champion of this particular competition. All right, we have Dan Masinga joining us back on the show. Dan, welcome to 360 Sports. Quickly. Okay, let's now go straight to the Italian Serie A and look at the result in the Italian Serie A, and we'll look at the table. For Napoli, they opened 6 points. They opened the gap, leading at the top of the table. But let's look at the result first. Cagliari lost to Bologna 2-0, and Lecce beat Hellas Verona 1-0, and Napoli, surprisingly, AC Milan actually played well in this game, but they were wasteful in front of goal, and they got punished by Napoli for that. And as it is right now, Napoli has extended their lead at the top of the table. Let's look at the table quickly and see what that win meant for Napoli. They have 25 points after playing 10 games. Inter is second, who have a game in hand. I think Inter will be playing later on tonight. They have 18 points. So as it stands now, right now, Napoli gradually extending the gap at the top of the league. If Inter doesn't win tonight, definitely that extension will probably stay. Juventus is third with 17 points. We have Fiorentina on the fourth position with 16 points. Atlanta is fifth with 16 points. Atlanta also have a game in hand. Lazio, they are sixth with 16 points. Udinese is seventh with 16 points. AC Milan with 14 points. Torino on the ninth position with 14 points. Bologna is 10th with 12 points. Let's go to the flip side of the table quickly and see the team that is starting. We have Empoli on the 11th position having 11 points. Roma is 12th with 10 points. Como, that's the team of Cesc Fabregas, is on the 13th position with 9 points. Hellas Verona, who lost their own game to Lecce, is on the 14th position with 9 points. Cagliari, also who lost to Bologna, is on the 15th position with 9 points and -9 goal difference. We have Monza 16th with 8 points. Parma, Lecce, all of them standing on 18 points, and Genoa and Venezia occupies the bottom of the Italian Serie A. So games continue tonight in the Italian Serie A, but we'll bring, like I said, we'll bring you the fixtures later on our evening show, so that we know that the likes of Inter Milan will be in action tonight. All right, before we will go away from the show, let's quickly take this tennis story where Jack Draper, the tennis player that is a British #1, beat Jiří Lehíka of Czech Republic to move into Paris second round. So for Draper, I think is a good season for him as it stands right now. He's British #1 beating Jiří Lehíka of Czech Republic to qualify for Paris second round game. So for Draper, let's see if he can progress from the second round. The likes of Katie Butler also doing well in Hong Kong Open. So I think it's a good year for all of the English tennis players. All right, that is what we'll be leaving it on the show this morning, but we'll not just leave you like that. We'll leave you with the highlights of that game where the Super Falcons actually hammered the Algerian counterpart in a friendly game at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena in Onikon, Lagos yesterday afternoon. I am Emmanuel Fashimin saying thanks for watching, and sorry that Dan, because of net signal issues from his own end, couldn't really contribute on the show this morning.